you will not be able to go down. So that is another bridge we have to cross. Because you find that they are women who have a lot of potential. There are women who have skills, especially making crafts and all this, but they're blocked by their leadership. And then complex. We don't believe in ourselves. We keep saying, oh, I can't manage. How not to manage? How will I do this? How will I achieve this? Then social issues. The men. I said I don't believe in that, but sometimes it comes in. The men sometimes are polygamous. And once they're polygamous, they want to keep the other one down. They don't want you to grow. Talking about the rural women, they don't want them to grow. They don't want to advance them to another level. They don't want them to go for training classes. They don't want them to get any information or knowledge. So that is another barrier. But they are skilled. They are good farmers. But their goods or commodities rot in their gardens because nobody can access them. Then you find women who are involved in informal sectors, whom we need to tap into, whom we have not mentioned here. You find women who are vendors. A vendor can transform into an entrepreneur. Roadside vendors. They're roadside vendors because they don't have sufficient capital. How do we access them? How do we empower them? These are the questions that we should address, we as activists, or we who are in responsible positions. It's unfortunate that some of our girls also go into areas like prostitution. And these are brilliant girls. I was invited one time by the association. And that association, I realized that most of them were actually prostitutes. And when I talked to these kids, I could see they had a lot of potential. I could see they were intelligent people. I could see they could be productive, but they were there talking about human rights. They even had NGOs, representatives from America, from where, telling them that these are your rights. You can do this. This is your body. It's your right to use your body. So you find that sometimes they're, yes, sometimes they're misled. Some were prostitutes and some were homosexual. And I sat there and I listened to these brilliant, making presentations about their bodies and how they have a right. So you find that because they want to survive, they are sometimes confused by other elements who tell them that you can make a living with your body. These are facts. So that is another group. They are there. They are getting some form of mentoring, because they even call it mentoring. Yes, and they're getting support to be there. So that is another, what would say, vulnerable group. How do we access them? Because I tried to talk to them, and I was like, because they were telling me, Madam, you're a member of Parliament, we want you to go to Parliament and support us so that we are formalized. I said, formalized as who? I said, as prostitutes. I said, how? But anyway, I didn't want to show that I was shocked. But then I said, but what if we think about another activity, economic activity? Okay, this is your economic activity. But what if we think about another one? Then they say, no, but I'm used to this particular I don't have to put in much work and only a few hours. I say, no, but it's wearing you out. So that is another area. People who are involved in informal activities, whom we need to tap into. We should start even addressing some of these issues. You will. These are also yours. I could introduce them to you. I could introduce them to you. So now let's look at the formalized group, the entrepreneurs. A number of challenges have been mentioned here. And ever since I joined that ministry, I realized that there were a number of challenges that these people encountered. The biggest challenge about standards, and I really liked her presentation because I could see that is not being able to understand the standards. They give you a heap of standards, bigger than this. And they say, these are the standards you have to comply with. And I've been quarreling with my UNBS. I say, but how do you expect these people to understand all this? No, if they're in business, automatically they should understand. I said, no way. I come into business. It doesn't mean that I know everything. But with time, I grow with it. Like here, I've actually attained a lot of knowledge by sitting here and listening to everybody's contribution. So that is the challenge. People do not know what standards they require for their products. And they can't even translate what is given to them. And our people don't have sufficient time to sit them down to take them through. That is one of the challenges. Another challenge is also identifying markets. The actual markets. How do you penetrate that particular market? The other day, I went into a market. And a supermarket, grand supermarket. And I looked at all these products and I asked the managers, the proprietors, by the way, because I could see all these products from China, some even I couldn't even read it was in Chinese. From China, from Italy, so I asked the proprietor, do you have any products from the local entrepreneurs? And he said, yes, madam, I'll take you there. But I put them at the back there because people don't want to buy them. So we walk around. Imagine, even finding them was so difficult. I was even sweating. I was wearing high heels. I thought I was going to. So we get there. And I looked at these products. Oh my God. Some packages were torn. They had no quality mark. None. UNBS mark. They were terrible. Some were spilling all over the place. They badly cramped in that corner because you could. Then the proprietor told me, I just want to please these people, the SMEs. I said, you're Uganda, aren't you? Yes. You know what I do? They're so desperate when they come here with their products, so I just put them there for the sake of putting them. But I said, you're spoiling your name, you're ruining your reputation as well. Because if you sell substance, no, by the way, nobody even buys them. I said, then why do you put them on the stores? Well, we are supposed to go for the local content, and I just do it, because that's what the policy says. Now, he didn't know, what he didn't realize that he was talking to a policewoman, telling me, imagine the Minister of Trade. Then I realized there is a problem. I realized that even the people who are trying to sell them are not marketing them. They are not marketing our products, but they're doing it because of the law. Because you tell them supermarkets are supposed to have a certain percentage of the local content. So they're just doing it for the sake of doing it. That is a challenge. So what I did, I sent their UNBS people. But now the other another challenge was getting the suppliers. Because the suppliers now are hiding, they had UNBS coming. Because at one time UNBS was a terror unit. It was terrorizing people so much, extorting money from them. I'll talk about that. So now we wanted to look for the suppliers so that we could help them to acquire standards, to educate them. After now, we are still looking for them. The proprietor is saying, you know, madam, these people are not very comfortable, and they're not very comfortable with you know, with UNBS. I said, but how will they improve their standards? I said, we just want to help them. We don't want to lock them up. We don't want to punish them. It's not punitive, but it is remedial. We want to help them. So that is also another challenge. The people who are buying from us don't have confidence in our products. But we also, our products are substandard, but sometimes we are reluctant to go to UNBS. Okay, access to UNBS is difficult. I've attended some exhibitions. And when you go to these exhibitions, you ask these people, oh, have you been to UNBS? Now, sometimes when I see you coming and say, the minister is coming, you're touring the exhibition, then you see them hiding. Oh, you see them hiding. Because they're exhibiting goods that have no mark and that are not up to standard. But now they don't want to come out to tell you because they think it's a crime. So you find people at exhibitions hiding. When you ask, who's the proprietor, who's the owner of the store, then the neighbor comes in and says, oh, she's gone for a short call. Oh, I'll wait. At one point I sat down and waited. But she kept peeping. She kept peeping until the colleagues told her, no, you come. And it was wine. I said, let's help you. And we helped her. Now she's producing very good wine. It had a bit of challenge. Right? So there is also that stigma and lack of confidence by our marketers, our suppliers. Poor packaging, distrust, as we said, financial literacy. Sometimes we just don't know how to handle our finances. As we see it all here, you find that you're using your personal money to run your business. You find that you get your house, you mortgage it to get money to manage your business. Once your business collapses, your house is going. Where are you? Saving culture is terrible. In fact, women are doing much better as far as financial literacy is concerned. But some of them. You find that she gets money. What does she do? She buys. She thinks she has to take the children abroad. The child is stuck there abroad. She doesn't have school fees. All the money from the business has gone. Because now this entrepreneur is at another level. Another level. Takes the child to a very expensive school, cannot afford to maintain this child there. But remember, she's draining the business. Money from the business. How shall we bridge that gap when we are not taking some of these few things into consideration? Are we balancing our resources enough? Are we? Just check yourself. All of you are seated here. I don't want you to put up your hand, but ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? Am I using money for business, or am I using my personal money for business? The other used a salary loan to run a business. Now, if that job goes, that loan, you'll never pay that loan. But because we are frustrated, because we don't know where to go. Now once a job goes, your contract is not there, the loan is not paid, the business is gone. Financial literacy. Some banks are offering financial literacy like UBA. I understand even Barclays Bank. But I think all these banks, we need to implore, I as a Minister of Trade, should come in and implore some of these banks to at least offer this as a corporate social responsibility, sensitizing people about managing money, financial literacy, women, youth, and all that. It will help us. Lack of business development skills, that's another challenge. How are we managing our businesses? Are we skilled enough? Sometimes we're not skilled enough and we're scared to bring on skilled people because you think you're going to pay more. And you keep saying, I will do it myself, I'll try. I know a bit about it. Someone's talking about crafts. There are people who are skilled out there, but we don't want to employ them. There are people who can do these colors, who can do all this, but we don't want to employ them. But we keep saying, oh, I'll manage my business alone. I'll manage it as it is because I'm the one who put in my money. Relatives. All of you are employing your relatives. Your relatives, train them. But you don't train them, you bring them on board because they're your relatives. You leave a skilled person and you bring in a relative because she's my mother's sister, she's my wife, she's my relative, he's my son, he's my wife. Is he trained enough to run your business? So most of you sit there and say our businesses, we failed in our businesses. You have actually run down your business yourself. Management. Management, have you managed it? Do you have the skilled man? But at least get one skilled person, highly skilled. I know they're expensive. And that person will train others. But I want to go back to standards. What have we done as a ministry? Because standards is not something one can handle as an individual or as a business. Standards, it is government, it is you to tell us what you want, then government will carry out all the tests, approve the standards, and implement them. Can you, Maggie, can you just get it out of this? I don't know what it is. The white one. Sorry. In the middle. So, what have we done? It's true UNBS has been very inefficient. And it's been a struggle. I've been fighting with it ever since I came into the ministry. Apparently, I realized that the inefficiency was emerging from the Bureau itself. I realized that the corruption was from the Bureau itself. It was the staff who were involved in some of these activities. For example, allowing the substandard goods to come on the market, sometimes even allowing. In fact, when I came out to fight all this, I got a lot of resistance from the people who had been allowed to bring in substandard goods. So many. Even up to now, we still have stocks and stocks of substandard goods in stores. But what do? We can't keep knocking on all the warehouses and ban all the stuff. It's not possible. So we just wait for them to sell them out. Sorry. So what we did, we changed the leadership, the management. There is an improvement now. There's a slight improvement. They are putting up a structure. It is a white one. It is a white one. Maybe I could do it. Sorry about it. And And now we're trying to establish, we are putting up a structure of UNBS. And we're going to have, to empower, we are actually even trying to train the staff. And we're going to have better services. And we are rolling out regionally because people are finding it difficult to come to the headquarters all the time for the mark. So we have established regional offices in some of the towns. We have 4 so far, but we want to roll out to all the districts. So that you find that people, entrepreneurs from Arua, don't have to come all the way to Kampala to have their products tested. But we also have PIVOC. PIVOC is pre-inspection, pre-verification scheme, whereby you check the goods before they come into the country, but I've had a lot of resistance over that as well. Because people want to keep on bringing in substandard goods. Let me mention the supermarket survey. We carried out a supermarket survey. I'll mention a bit about it. And we found that only 30% of the local products have succeeded in penetrating the supermarkets. And among the 30%, only about 20 have managed to attain shelf space. And the only 30, you can imagine, 30%. But we are going to work, we are working very hard to ensure that we are able to sensitize people about standards, like in the media, like translating documents, like one of the contributors suggested. Registration of business is one thing that most people do not want to do. People do not want to register their businesses. Some are managing their businesses, but they don't want to register them. But it is also a process. It's a process that actually is frustrating a lot of business people. We want to encourage contract farming and, amongst the women to take up leadership posts in contract farming schemes and producer groups. We need to develop sustainable business models to succeed and partner with large communities. Just like my daughter said, you could form a group of people with your thinking, develop a model or a proposal, and it will be easier for you to attain financial support if you are a group than as an individual, like I said. But we like working alone. We like working as members of family, just say you and my chambers, me and my sons. But my sons will be looking at me to bring everything. They will not bother because they know mom has started a business for us. And they will not work as hard as any other person. Financial literacy is important. Government has started up some projects like TechnoServe, Enterprise. Your Wheels also is not government, but it is also helping in training people. Formation of women groups is very important and networking. Whenever I come for such forum, I benefit a lot. I've realized the shortcomings of our ministry or government through listening to most of the contributions. And I know how I'll be able to tackle some of these areas. For example, like that one of UNBS, we need to sensitize people, use the media, that one, we need to go for it aggressively. Uganda Export Promotions Board, my sister is here. She's the chairperson. She has some challenges, but don't despair. I say never give up. We'll fight on. We're never defeated. But as I conclude, I appeal to all women present today to continue being part of the good cause in achieving national and social economic development, which is a cornerstone of attaining our MDGs. I'd like to thank all the organizers of this business forum. But as I said, we need also to look at that rural woman. We have not addressed it properly. Let us go right down to the grassroots because we need to pull them up. There is a big vacuum between us, the entrepreneurs, between us, people in offices, between the leaders and the lady who strives to produce and to look after his family. I'd like to thank her family. I thank you very much. Many people, there's a saying by Mary Kay. Mary Kay, as you know, is a beautician. That many people limit themselves to what they think they can do. You can go as far as your mind leads you to. What you believe, remember what you should believe, and you should remember that you can achieve whatever you want to do. Don't hold yourself, persist, don't hold yourself back. Persist, you will get there. Thank you so much for listening to me. For God and my country.